Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back on my series on stories from the Puranas. And today we'll talk about a very interesting story which is coming directly from the Puranas. Now, all these videos on Puranas, which I present to you on YouTube, they are a direct reference from the Puranas. So I'll request you to have firm faith and belief in it. It is not picked up from any kind of a story published on history or ancient history or Vedic mythology. It is coming directly from the Puranas. So today's story is a very interesting story, and this story is about recalling the dead. So as we know that, the Hindu philosophy or Hindu belief is based on the fact that after death there is a life. So of course there is a reincarnation, but in the process, you do enjoy your stay in heavens or the hell based on your karma. So I'm not going to go detail into that area of discussion, but that's the primary belief of the Hindu philosophy, or the Hindu belief rather. So this story is based on recalling the dead who were up in the heavens, and the story is about the characters from the great epic Mahabharata. Okay, and I'm sure most of you people have read or have known about Mahabharata. So as we all know that the blind king Dhritarashtra in the great war of Mahabharata, lost all of his sons, and then he performed all the funeral rites of his dead sons and became ready to go to the forest. As we know that as people grow older, especially in ancient times, not in modern day times of course, but in ancient day times, when people grow older, they retire in the forest and meditate on whoever they are devoted to, their deity or their god, and then they stay there until they pass away. So King Dhritarashtra, unfortunately, he lost all his 100 sons, and he was the one to perform the funeral rites of his sons after Mahabharata, and he was ready to go to the forest. His wife Gandhari, okay, and Kunti, who was Pandu's wife and the mother of the Pandavas, the 5 Pandavas, because at that time Kunti was old as well, and she wanted to retire to the forest as well. And Vidura, who was a brother of Dhritarashtra, okay, from the maidservant. There's another story how Vidura was born, but he was the son of Vyasa through a maid, okay. And Dhritarashtra was the son of Vyasa, again just like Vidura, not through the maid but through Ambika, okay. And then Ambalika gave birth to Pandu, King Pandu, and that's another story. So people who are interested can go refer to my earlier videos in this series on story from the Puranas. So what happened was King Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Kunti and Vidura retired to the forest, and they went to the auspicious Satayupa hermitage on the banks of the Ganges, and then they built a hut there, of course not a palace because they retired into the forests, and practiced severe austerities, meditation and tapasya, and with a lot of concentration. And then here the Pandavas, were the 5 sons of Kunti, were in their kingdom and they were enjoying their rule as a kingdom, as a king, or as kings rather, 5 Pandavas, after their victory over the Kauravas. So they were enjoying there, but 6 years passed and they thought about and especially the older one actually, Yudhishthira, out of the 5 brothers, he told his brothers that I dreamt that our mother Kunti is very lean and thin. Now my mind wants to see my mother, my uncle meaning 2 uncles rather, Dhritarashtra and Vidura, and the highly intelligent Sanjaya. Now Sanjay was another character from Mahabharata who would actually, he was a commentator, or he used to describe what's happening in the great battle of Mahabharata to the blind Dhritarashtra. Okay, and he also had retired to the forests along with Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Dhritarashtra's wife, Kunti, Pandava's mother, and Vidura, the uncle of Pandavas or brother of Dhritarashtra, or the son of Vedavyasa through the maid. Okay, very, very highly, all these characters, since they were sons of Vedavyasa, and people who do not know who Vedavyasa was, please refer to my earlier video on Vedavyasa's birth, who Vedavyasa was. And he was the son of sage Parashara, and everything has been described in detail in that video, so I'll recommend please watch that. So these characters, Dhritarashtra, Pandu, who had passed away of course very early, and Vidura, were highly spiritual because they had inherited those genes from their father, which is Vedavyasa. Okay, or Vyasadeva rather. He's called Vedavyasa because he's a compiler of he's the splitter of the Vedas and the compiler of the Puranas. So he started to be known as Vedavyasa. Actually his name was Vyasadeva. Okay, very, very highly spiritual sons he had. Once again, Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura. And like I said, Sanjay had also accompanied Dhritarashtra, Kunti, Vidura into the forest, and Yudhishthira got this desire to see Kunti, and they went to the Satyupa hermitage where Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya, Kunti, and Vidura were staying and meditating. Okay, so what they did was, all the 5 Pandu brothers, including Yudhishthira, who was the oldest of course, actually the oldest was Karna, but we are not going to go into that story. That's another story which is associated with Mahabharata. But these 5 brothers, and the eldest one being Yudhishthira, went to see their mother and their uncle, and even Sanjay, into the forest at Satyupa hermitage where they were meditating. And they also took with them their wife Draupadi. We know that Draupadi was married to the 5 Pandavas. Subhadra, okay, who was married to Arjuna, and Uttara. Okay, so they took their wives, and Uttara was the wife of Abhimanyu, son of Arjuna, who was killed in battle. She also accompanied. And then when they went there to the hermitage, Yudhishthira did not see Vidura, his uncle. So he asked, "Where is Vidura?" And he was told that Vidura has been very dispassionate, and he has gone alone in a solitary place, and he's meditating on the eternal Brahma. Okay, now with Brahma we don't mean the Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma. Brahma means the eternal Brahmana, or the Brahma. Anyways, again, we'll not go deep into that. So next day, King Yudhishthira was walking along the banks of the Ganges river, because this hermitage was near or on the banks of the Ganges river. And in the forest he saw his uncle Vidura, and he had become very lean and thin because of severe austerities and tapasya. So he went and said, "I'm King Yudhishthira, I'm saluting you." But Vidura remained very motionless, like a log of wood. And then instantly, a wonderful halo came out of Vidura's face and entered the mouth of Yudhishthira. Okay, and of course, we know that Yudhishthira was the son of Dharma. Okay, and Vidura was also associated very closely with Dharma. Both of them were Dharma's parts. And Vidura then passed on the halo to the mouth of Yudhishthira, and then he died. Okay, that's how Vidura died. Okay, and then Yudhishthira, of course, was very sad, and then, there was even a voice coming from the heavens praising how great Vidura was. But anyways, Yudhishthira, and he bathed in the Ganges water after performing the last rites of his uncle Vidura, and returned to the hermitage, or the ashrama as it is called in Sanskrit. And he informed everybody of this, that right in front of him Vidura died. And he actually narrated everything in detail to the other Pandavas, and to Dhritarashtra, to Kunti, and to Draupadi, everybody, and even Sanjaya. So he described in detail that this is how Vidura ended his life. Well, Vidura's life was ended, and how that halo came to his mouth, and he he performed the last rites of Vidura. So while the Pandavas were staying in that hermitage, what happened was Vedavyasa, Narada, and other highly evolved munis or rishis came there and visited the Pandavas. Okay, so this is when the real story starts, which explains, recalling the dead, getting the dead back, and this is how the mystery happens, and we are just going to narrate this story how it happened. So once again, Vedavyasa, Narada, who is actually the Maharishi or Deva Rishi rather, or Rishi of the Devas, and Vedavyasa, of course, the son of Rishi Parashara, who is also a greatly highly evolved spiritual soul, and some other munis and rishis came to Yudhishthira and the Pandavas. And at that point, Kunti, the mother of Pandavas, who was also staying in the hermitage, and whom actually the Pandavas wanted to see so badly, she spoke to Vedavyasa, or Vyasadeva, whatever way you want to address him. And she said to Vedavyasa, "I saw my son only once when he was born." And she was referring to Karna, the first son. And like I said, I'm not going to go into that story, how Karna was born. Please refer to my earlier video. And can you please show him once to me, she told Vedavyasa or Vyasadeva. So here we know that the first son of Kunti, whose name was Karna, had to be given up out of shame by Draupadi, and eventually he was killed in the great battle of Mahabharata. He was up in the heavens, and Kunti requested Vedavyasa, "I've just seen my son once and I had to give him away. Can you please show him to me once?" Okay, and she told Vedavyasa, "You can do this. I know that. You're very powerful. So please satisfy my heart's desire." And then Gandhari also mentioned to Vedavyasa. Gandhari, once again, is Dhritarashtra's wife, who had lost all his 100 sons in the battle of Mahabharata. She also requested Vedavyasa, "O Muni, I did not see Duryodhana, the oldest of her child out of 100, when he went to battle." Why? Because she had covered her eyes with a piece of cloth. She had that eyes covered with a piece of cloth since she married Dhritarashtra, and that's another story. We'll not get into that. So she requested Vedavyasa as well, just like Kunti did, desirous to see Karna. Gandhari requested Vedavyasa that I also did not see Duryodhana when he went to the battle. So please show me, get me Duryodhana wherever he is, up in the heavens or wherever, along with his younger brothers. So she requested, actually, as a matter of fact, to see all the 100 sons, Duryodhana and his 99 brothers. And once again, Subhadra, okay, Subhadra also said that, "Oh Vedavyasa, I also want to see the great hero Abhimanyu, whom she loved so much, who also lost his life in the battle of Mahabharata. Please show him to me." So there are these three ladies. One is Kunti, who wanted to see her dead son, oldest one, Karna, requesting Vedavyasa to show him to her, appear from wherever he is. The second lady was Gandhari, wife of Dhritarashtra. She requested Vedavyasa to make her see her 100 sons who had passed away. And then the third lady, Subhadra, okay, who was Arjuna's son and who loved the great hero Abhimanyu, okay, who was actually her son, okay, and Abhimanyu had lost his life in the battle as well, so she requested Vedavyasa to show Abhimanyu to him as well. So these are the three ladies who made this request. And when Satyavati's son, Vyasadeva, of course we know that Vyasadeva was the son of Satyavati and sage Parashara. That's how he's been described again and again in the Puranas. So when Satyavati's son Vedavyasa, or rather Satyavati and Parashara's son Vedavyasa, heard these words, he kind of wanted to help these three ladies, and he held pranayama, which is deep breathing exercise. That's what pranayama means in Sanskrit, deep breathing exercise. And he meditated on the great Devi, okay, with the force of Brahma. And in the evening time, Vedavyasa invited Yudhishthira and all the others to the banks of the Ganges. He bathed in the Ganges and began to chant hymns in the praise of the great Devi, the eternal Devi, the Mahamaya as she is called in Sanskrit and in the Puranas. And he started to praise Devi in the evening on the banks of river Ganges. And he said, "O Devi, when Brahma was not there, when Vishnu was not there, when Maheshwara, who's another name for Shiva, was not there, and neither were Indra, Varuna, Kubera, Yama, and Agni, these gods, they were not there. Only you existed then. So I'm praying to you, I'm offering my salutations to you, I'm paying my respect to you." And he started to praise the Devi again and again. And he tried to remind her that nobody has as much of a power than you do. And, "O Mother, O Mahamaya, O Devi, these three ladies are praying to me to see their dead ones, but I am quite incapable to do that. So kindly show them their departed ones." That's what Vedavyasa was praying to the Supreme Goddess, the Mahamaya, the Mother, who was there when he described neither Shiva, Brahma, or Vishnu were there. Neither the all other Vedic gods were there. Only she was present. And he kept praying to them. And then, all of a sudden, the goddess, the great goddess, the Mahamaya, the Supreme Mother, showed them their relatives, When I say them, it means showed Kunti, Gandhari, and Subhadra, and even Uttara, of course, the dead relatives. And the Pandavas became extremely happy to see their relatives come to them. So only the Supreme, the point this story is trying to make, which is coming directly from the Puranas, is only the Supreme Goddess could have done that. And only the prayers of the great Vedavyasa could have been able to convince the Supreme Goddess to fulfill the wishes of these three ladies, to fulfill the wishes of these three ladies called Kunti, Gandhari, and Subhadra. Kunti being the mother of the Pandavas, requesting to see Karna. Gandhari being the mother of the the 100 sons called Kauravas, who wanted to see her 100 sons. And Subhadra, wife of Arjuna, the mother of Abhimanyu, who wanted to see Abhimanyu. So all these people, Karna, the 100 sons of Gandhari, and Subhadra's son Abhimanyu were all killed in the great battle of Mahabharata. But the great goddess, the Mahamaya, took their request, accepted their request through, of course, Vedavyasa's prayers on the banks of Ganges. And the dead, the departed ones came and appeared, and after their union they left, bade goodbye. The living ones also bade goodbye to the departed ones who had come to visit them with the power of the Supreme Goddess at the request of the great Vedavyasa. And everybody went to their respective places. And eventually King Yudhishthira with Subhadra, Uttara, and his other 4 brothers came back to Hastinapur, where they were ruling. And this was the little story which is coming from the great Puranas. And hopefully you did enjoy it. In the meanwhile, I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you with an interesting topic on Vedic astrology or a continuation to stories from the Puranas very soon. Goodbye.